back again. Ghetto Hillbilly here, and today, or now anyways, I'm doing a few videos today, but I'm going to do a response about the Cash for Clunkers program. I've been watching a lot of videos on this, checked out a few websites, did a little research myself, watched quite a few videos of the dealers and such, and really this kind of boggles my mind. I can't see how anybody can see how this is good for the environment, how this, helps anybody except for the big car makers. I know exactly that, in my opinion, older vehicles are better, much better. Like, you try to fix a 2009, fuck, you gotta take it, spend $200 if you don't, know much about cars or, where to take it. And you gotta spend, $200 just to get a fucking code read to say, you need a spark plug or something ridiculous like that, when really, in my opinion, vehicles were much better, 15, 20 years ago. You had a problem, you pop the hood, you can usually see it, or, you knew what it was. It was fairly obvious. I mean, there was, of course, any car has weird problems, but for the most part, I found, older cars, and then you go back even older, like in my videos, I have a 78 Ford. Well, holy fuck, you can fix that with a bent nail and some fucking old chewing gum, maybe a roll of duct tape. Sold vehicles, and I think it's funny, in a way, that the Ford Focus is #1, because I don't know about the rest of the world, but around here, they're junk. I've seen 2002 Ford Focus with no rocker panels, thank you. No rocker panels. Like, at all left. Completely rotted out. Now, I had a 97 Dodge Stratus that had the same problem. I mean, I'm not saying that was a good car by any means, but at least it fucking lasted a few more years before it rotted out. Like, I think they just make vehicles out of tinfoil now, really. Up here in Nova Scotia, I know a lot of people, down in the States don't have such problems with rust, and even interior Canada, but here in Nova Scotia, rust, this is probably one of the worst spots for rust, because we salt our roads, we have salt air constantly, we're right on the ocean, so, everything just rusts out like crazy. But this whole Cash for Clunkers thing, I guess I'm getting a little off topic here, but the whole Cash for Clunkers thing, it just blows my mind. Like, okay, everything, the biggest thing they're saying, they want to get the old cars off the road to get these newer cars that have better emissions on. Well, the old cars, they sold, for one. Back in the day, I mean, an 82 Honda Civic, I bet you would still pass emission tests today in any place, just because they, overdid it. Unlike, let's say an Escalade. Escalades were always or any SUV for that matter, actually. SUVs, as far as I know anyways, are still to this day classified as trucks. And because they're classified as trucks, that means that they fall under a different category when it comes to emissions, and they're not so strict. Like, it comes back to, okay, they want to, take all these cars off the road so it's greener for everyone. Well, that contradicts the recycling laws, Reduce is #1. Well, you're not really reducing. Yes, I guess you're reducing the amount of cars on the road, but you're just, replacing them anyways with newer, crappier cars that are, more likely to fail and won't last nearly as long. The second one is reuse. Well, you can't reuse a car that you fucking blow up the engine and then crush it. Like, that's just ridiculous. And, of course, recycle. We can't take parts off it or, reuse parts if the thing's destroyed completely, which, it just boggles my mind. And not only that, hell, if they wanted to kill the cars, they should have at least, just stripped them down right then and there, This car will never go on the road again. But reuse the parts, because, you're always going to need parts. That's the way cars are. You always need parts, no matter how long or how good the car is. It'll still need parts. They put this additive in the engine, just let it sit there and idle to death. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't think that's a very noble death for vehicles, certain ones anyway. I know I've had a few vehicles that I'd be insulted if I saw that happen. It's like, if you really want to kill a car, I could show you how. I mean, you could do it. You could kill any car under 5 minutes if you really want to, but make it a lot funner. But, you know, if you take this, you know, perfectly good working car that somebody traded in on a whim or whatever, or thought because they'll get a good deal for this program, and you just put some additive in it and then you crush it. Well, you know, fuck, I could have taken that thing, you know, through a field somewhere for, you know, an hour and taken wicked videos of it, you know. So, I don't know. If anybody out there is thinking about the Cash for Clunkers thing, but they'd rather see their car destroyed properly, let me know, I'll do it. I'm all for it. In that respect, I do like killing cars myself. I mean, I've had, geez, I don't even know. I've had at least 60 cars, maybe 70 in my life, and I'm only 30. I actually had over 30 cars before I even had a legal one. I mean, there's a reason the big automakers are going down, and, you know, there are some automakers that aren't doing so bad still. I mean, sure, they took a hit, but they all took a hit. You know, just ridiculous. And environmentally friendly? Not at all. Not at all. I mean, I don't even know if they drain the fluids out of them before they crush them. I don't know what they do before they crush them. I would hope they do. But, you know, I just don't see any, like, why take a car that's, you know, 10 years old, let's say, and, you know, just destroy it just because somebody doesn't want it anymore because they bought a newer car. So nobody else can ever use that car. Nobody else can ever use parts off that car. I mean, you know, if you're poor, like I am and I've always been, and a lot of people I know are, like Nova Scotia is a have-not province, and it's very hard to, you know, be able to even afford a car, let alone a new one. You know, you could care less how new the car is, just that it works. It's the main thing. But when you start destroying them like that, you know, people like me don't have cars to drive. You know, I can't go out and lease a fucking, you know, an '09 fucking Focus or, you know, 2010 fucking car. You know, most people around here anyways can't. I mean, there are a lot of people that can, but again, who wants to lease a car? But it's just ridiculous, and there's no need of it, and it's completely contradicting what it's supposed to be doing. It's supposed to be helping the environment, and if you can show me in any way, shape, or form that it actually is, I'd be damn surprised, because I think it's causing much more harm than good. It breaks the 3 laws of recycling: reduce, reuse, and recycle. So, I mean, how can this be good? It's all a government ploy. Mostly, I don't know if it's even totally government. Government allowed it, but it's a marketing ploy by the big car companies to try to get rid of their old cars because they don't want them to keep going, so they can get rid of these new cars because they pumped out way too many in the wrong time, and now they got lots and lots full of them. I know I've seen a lot of videos saying they're sold out in certain areas and this and that, but I take that with a grain of salt, in my opinion. There's probably, you know, large lots around that actually have tons and tons of them. It's just they make it seem that way so that, you know, it creates a frenzy. It's all about marketing, really. I think they even have this program here in Nova Scotia. I know they have another program here similar to that the government, actually, this is a government one, that they will take your car, they'll pay $300 for any car under $19.95. And I've never actually heard what they do with them. I just know that they will pay you $300 for your own beater.